On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Marangolo. He's Tim Strachan.
Man, it's about to get real.
Speaking of a WCAC man through and through, there he is. He's got a letter on his head. I don't know what that's all about. I'm sure we'll get to it at some point. He's Tim Strachan. Coming at us live from an undisclosed Kensington location, Tim Strachan.
What's going on, guys? I don't claim to know much, although Kevin said if I grew a beard, I would at least look like I knew more than I do. You'd have been proud of me last week. I had a pretty good stash going. Not quite like Ken's. I caught it from Ken. I was styling it pretty good last week. I know you got a picture of yours somewhere right next to you.
You regrowing that beard?
No, just been lazy. I haven't shaved since Tuesday. Last a week.
Okay. Me
How
too.
long it
I actually, same
You
here.
shaved yesterday.
Coach.
Hockey.
Hockey.
There's
hockey.
Polo.
I want to coach hockey.
That would be like a Disney movie.
Did you say polo?
Yeah,
You said
water
polo?
While I'm struggling with fractions with my 12 and 11-year-olds, I see a fraction problem. They ask me to come over and take care of it. I start to break out in sweats.
T, it has been said that your milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and I think that's never been truer
Have they
than
said
tonight.
that?
Yes, it's
About
been
me
said.
specifically?
Well, I think that's what the song was
Kind of
really
in
trying to
general.
get through. Yeah,
Okay.
that's in general.
We each should have a pizza and see who finishes first on camera.
That's the worst show idea. That's a terrible show
We'll
idea.
film it and then cut it up into a little
No
clip.
one will watch that. I will watch it. I will watch it on repeat, but no one else will.
Look,
Better
the
watch
majority of Lito's pieces, like slices, is one bite.
It's one bite.
When you took it 99 yards the other way, turned the game around. I mean,
101.
101.
Yes. Come on, T.
A lot of people don't know how hard you have to work right now to help young men want to achieve their goal of maybe playing at the next level. Numbers are scarce. Scholarships are scarce. It's just
Scars. Become scars. It's really scars?
Did I say scarce?
Yeah, you
Twice.
said twice.
You said it
Scars.
twice.
Coach knows what I'm talking about.
Don't worry, I just
It's great
rolled
to have an
with it, buddy.
adult
I just
on the
rolled
show
with
tonight.
Coach,
I know, I'm
Tomato,
just saying.
tomato.
I'm sorry.
it's not tomato.
One, I do want to say I was the first one to bring a soccer
Yes.
player
Yes, you
on.
were.
Sophomore year, not only did we lose to this guy over here in the final play of the game in the championship, so happy I get to get out of the house on a Tuesday night to come here and discuss that
Yeah.
along with T-Bird,
So am I.
which makes it even better. Yeah.
It's great.
He's Tim Strachan.
Man, it's Tuesday night. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Looking forward to tonight's show. And may the 4th be with you both.
First of all, you're not a Star Wars guy,
I
and
am.
we all know
Are
it.
you kidding? You can't tell me I'm not something.
Yeah, we
How do you
can.
know?
Oh, I think I know at this point. You're the last person in the world who should be doing a May the 4th be with you.
Are you? You're
Unbelievable.
crazy.
Unbelievable.
You're crazy.
I'm hoping you guys get into a fight.
Pipe down, my young Padawan. Okay?
See? Tim Strachan,
Oh, you know.
Pride of Gonzaga.
Oh
We're
my
talking about
God.
Jeff Clay.
I'm about to punch you.
Pride of DeMatha.
Shout out and hats off to T. Strachan for all the work he and Luke David do each week on that segment. You got some DeMatha
Yeah, I
stuff
know.
in there. I know you had something to do with that.
You know, when you put me in charge, man, you get what you get.
I put in about 20 stories.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do 20 stories. I know
Yeah.
that takes up a lot of time. A lot of DeMatha stuff got cut out.
Well,
I do want to
T-Bird,
put on.
for God's
I
sake,
do want
man.
to put on.
T?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it in house on my side too.
I'm
Shocker.
pretty, yeah, I know. You knew how this was going to go no matter what.
Oh wait, where do you go to high school?
We almost never cover
that's
any
right, you went
DeMatha
to
people.
DeMatha.
It's crazy that we would have one tonight. It's unbelievable.
We ended up beating in the championship later that year. And you know I had to bring that up because we won it. But
These DeMatha dudes, man, they always they start trouble. These Stags, man.
My son, they played the Matha in a basketball game, and they lost. And I went there and said, I beat them by myself on the football team.
even though you're really a McNamara guy, as we say at DeMatha, class gets you to the top, character keeps you at the top, and you embody that, my man.
Tim, that means a lot to hear it from you.
Most important thing that you took away from playing sports in the WCAC? Anybody? T? You're always good at this. You lead us off here.
I think of how lucky we were to play with and against some of the people that we played with and against. The friendships you made, the rivalries you made, talking about him years and years later, and having such a huge impact on our lives, I think that was big for me.
You're a great example, man. That's why you're on the show. You're a great example for these young men to know what it takes to not only be successful on the field, but more importantly, to be more successful off of it, man. I appreciate that, too.
You're the best three-pointer in the country right now. You don't just become that. Asia Shepherd, thank you so much for making us look good.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Now he's a great ambassador for the WCAC, and someone that a Bishop McNamara guy or a DeMatha guy like myself or a Gonzaga guy or name all the other schools are proud of this kid. We're proud of where we're from. We're proud of the young men that are coming out today carrying it on, and there's not a better ambassador than Rakim.
Thanks for having me. But thanks again for being an example for me when I was a kid, and Kevin and everybody, and paving the way and letting us be a part of the whole legend. And let's continue the conversation, man. Really appreciate it.
We talk about the sports and the wins and the losses and who's the best and where they're ranked, but it's the stories behind these kids that mean the most a lot, and it's the stories that help out other people, hopefully. And I see that you were involved in Paula Six peer mentoring. Brendan and Sean, thank you. Congratulations on what you've accomplished, but good luck continuing with what Peace Players International is doing. You guys are just unbelievable. Tui family, unbelievable. Happy birthday again to Mrs. Tui.
Without a doubt.
A great Tuesday night. Thank you.
It's not often I get to say I have anything in common with Adrian Dantley. But the one thing we do have in common is that we both got to play basketball at DeMatha for the legendary coach Morgan Wooten. There's no way a week would go by if Morgan didn't bring up an Adrian Dantley story to bring home a point about what he was trying to teach. Could be doing commercials and all these things. Instead, he's helping your child across the street. That's what makes him so special.
How you doing, man?
Doing great. Doing great.
He just couldn't be a cooler guy. And now, so many decades later, he's the same dude. He is the same guy. He's never changed. He is the most real person you'll ever meet.
I think it's important for people to know that where there's success, it wasn't always easy. And you talk about, challenges people may have. You, my friend, have had some challenges yourself. And I know that you've had a battle with cancer, and you've taken yet a different road and worn another hat in terms of raising funds for cancer awareness.
I mean, it's so great to be on a show like this where you guys are grew up in this thing, and it's not just something to do with a hobby. You guys live it.
I'll tell you what, it's our honor to bring you people like Tioka, a man who came from where we all have come from, and as an example of not just a great player, but an incredible person who has done incredible things far away from sports. It was just so great to have him on.
Well, Coach G, tell us about when you took the program over a few years ago as the head guy, what vision you had and where you are now in that vision and where you think this thing is going next year.
First and foremost, our kids, they need to be a part of a family. They need to understand our values, be a part of something bigger than themselves.
What Coach was just talking about was making these people not just successful in their sport, be it football or basketball or whatever, making them successful people.
What I think we get out of this is really what this is all about. It's more than sports. Your sports career is great, but your life story is even better. And I think we take from tonight the importance of faith, of family, friends, and really a belief in blessings. And I mean, it's only appropriate that one of our most decorated athletes, of all the sets we've seen and people who have their paraphernalia behind them, my man's got his Maryland diploma.
Yeah, he does.
All by itself, right above his head. You've got your priorities together, my man, and I just want to thank you for coming on and representing yourself and your family and our family, whether it be DeMatha and all of the WCAC. I really appreciate it, man.
Tim, you are the man. I'll never forget. I went to DeMatha, and Tim was a man, and I think you got injured that year I got there or that summer that I got there. And all you would hear was stories about this stud quarterback that did so many different things. And, of course, the injury certainly, broke a lot of hearts. But I think you have exactly what DeMatha put in me. The mindset that I don't care if you get hurt. I don't care what happens to you. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Everybody wants you to just go out there and make something of yourself.
There was that school in Hyattsville and then the rest of the conference. And Tim Strachan was on absolutely the Mount Rushmore of that school's all-time greats. And I'll never forget the game we played against that team in the fall of 1992. It was down at our place, and he's tossing the ball all over the yard. His all-met wide receiver, Brian McCarthy, had a couple of touchdowns. One of them was on my head. And after that game, our head coach, who had been at Carroll for 2 decades before coming over to Gonzaga, Moss Collins, said, "So you guys just saw what big-time football is all about." And he wasn't saying that to make us feel bad about ourselves. It was motivation. And the tragedy of not having a chance to compete against him in the fall of 1993, obviously it pales in comparison to everything he fought through to be where he is today. But that, for me, is one memory I wish we'd always had, because, Tim, you may not have known it, but you motivated every guy on our team to be better.
We love to talk about the football stuff or the basketball stuff or the actual sports themselves and some of the memories, but there's bigger stuff coming out of all these conversations, and it's more about how sports have shaped us, have helped us become who we are. That's part of the things one of the things I love most about having all these guys on, and hopefully the young guys that are following our show and in the league now are taking note and following the path of guys that have done it back then and are still doing it now, and still attributing their success to their time at their respective schools and in this league.
Not just the sports stuff we talk about, but the brotherhood and the reason, really, the first C behind why we do this, and the brotherhood and all of that is created in this, as well as our bond, you, me, Kevin, Ken,
Absolutely.
And the list goes on. We're supposed to be the older ones here, but I've now, after 2 of her segments, learned more from these kids. And, this is going to make them grow and be so much more successful, not just even in sports and all that, but in anything that they do. It's an experience, and that they're doing it not just for them, but for themselves and the people that they're bringing into the fold. It's just, it's in the community. I mean, it's making the community better, and that's why, great job, Megan. Great job, girls. It's awesome to see.
I'm now just finding out or realizing how lucky I was as a kid to have guys like you teaching me and coaching me. It's just amazing.
Yeah, thank you, T. I think we don't always realize it at the time, but then, God gives us a great gift to be able to look back on it and go, wow, you know what, that was really special.
I want to, one more time, say he's Tim Strachan.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Chris. Tonight's an example of why we do this, gentlemen. I know we love the sports and stuff like that, but hopefully a lot of people got a way more out of this than just sports.
Kevin's got his tagline, be a good sport. I like to tell people at the end of a show, stay grounded. Remember what's important.
But we also try our best to let these guys know you're still kids. You're still in high school. You still got to make the right decisions. You just got to stay grounded. You got to be a good sport.
Thanks so much to all you kids out there. Stay grounded.